Hi, I'm Mary Pepino, and welcome to Fit for You, the show that teaches you how to live a healthier and more fit lifestyle. I really enjoy this time of year, the holidays, and this is our holiday show. Believe it or not, we're coming to the end of another year. So we wanted you to start thinking about how you're going to feel on January 2nd and prepare so you can enjoy the new year. Enjoy the holidays, have some fun, and still love yourself on January 2nd. The key is planning. For those who know me, I'm a planner. I have a notepad with me by my treadmill, by my bike, by my bed. I'm notorious because as thoughts come to my mind, I always like to jot them down because I always have some kind of a plan working for the various things I'm doing. Why is planning so important to you? It reduces stress. It's going to keep you on a budget so you don't have that financial burden after the first of the year. It's going to keep you organized, and you're going to be able to get the people, family and friends around you to participate in some things in a very organized fashion. So it's going to make it a lot easier on them. What are the keys to holiday planning? Well, I am big on always getting that spiral notebook. So I wanted you to start by just getting any type of a basic spiral notebook. And what are we going to put in that notebook? Well, we're going to start by listing everything you need to do between now and January 1st. Gifts. Make a list of everybody that you have on your gift list. Put a few ideas down of what they like and put a monetary amount by what you're going to spend. Shopping. You got to get your shopping organized. Be at the grocery store, be at the drugstore for the day-to-day personal items that we need just to maintain our lifestyles. Stock up on some things that we know we're going to need extra of, like Kleenex and toilet paper and paper towels, so that you're not rushing around or running out of those things at the last minute. Pet care. Think about what you need to do to take care of your pet. They're going to have to be, are they due for a groom? Do they have to get to the vet for any reason? Make sure you have their food and treats on hand. Put it in the planner. Family and friends events. You're going to have to list everything on the calendar. What are those events that you must attend or that your children or functions they're having, either friends' parties, school functions? Got to pencil them in. Your routine. You have your work, and you may have some holiday parties you want to attend. You have to do your shopping days. You have to schedule your cooking days. You have to schedule your exercise and your de-stress time as well. So all these things, most importantly, what you're going to do for yourself too, have to be put down on a piece of paper. And once you get everything down on paper, then it's very easy to put them onto a calendar. Take a monthly pad that shows all 31 days of December and start filling in what can go where. Don't overstress yourself. Don't try to put 5 hours worth of things into a 1 hour slot. Doesn't work, just stresses you out. If you stay focused on your plan, you're going to really enjoy the holidays and you're going to love yourself on January 2nd. My guest today is Val Diorio, a registered dietitian, and Val is going to talk about some food tips. So there again, you can really enjoy the holidays and still love yourself on January 2nd. I hope you enjoy the show. It's my pleasure to welcome back our favorite dietitian, our fitness dietitian, Val Diorio. Thanks, Val, for coming.
Sure.
I know it's a crazy time of year. We have to say hi to the girls first.
Yes.
Let's say happy holidays to
Gia, Sophia, Julia, and Natalia.
And I'm sure they're going to have a fabulous holiday.
Yes, they are.
Great time of year for us to start thinking about how we don't want to feel on January 2nd.
Right.
So, and I think, we kind of lose track and we're like, oh, let's just have a great time and pay attention to nothing. And before you know it, it's January 2nd, we've gained 5 pounds and we feel like crap.
Yes.
And let's show everyone what 5 pounds of excess fat really looks like. So this is 5 pounds of fat.
Body fat, yes. And
go ahead.
You can see too, the red, you can see the blood that it really can't permeate through that fat, so you can see what you're actually putting inside and what it's doing to your body.
And it's so easy to put on.
It's so easy.
And so hard to get off.
Yes, very hard.
3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat.
Right. Right.
And when you think about, letting yourself go during the holidays and eating a lot of sweets and a lot of cream drinks and a lot of high fat, foods, 3,500 calories.
Like that. Over the Thanksgiving holiday, the average American consumes 4,500 calories and 229 grams of fat. So
that's in a day?
That's in a day.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Unbelievable. So when you look at that, and that's only 5 grams of fat.
You mean 5 pounds?
5 pounds, rather. Then,
It makes you think.
Makes you think.
And the double whammy is, especially from Thanksgiving on, right? We're going to eat a big meal, then we go lay on the couch and relax. The last thing we think about is let's go take a walk.
Right, and exercise. And the biggest thing I advise to people is, if you are following a healthy lifestyle, don't worry about losing weight over the holidays. Try and at least maintain that, because you are, you're kind of setting yourself up, and you are going out and you are going to indulge maybe a little bit, and that's okay to enjoy yourself, but don't get carried away. And if you maintain through these 5-6 weeks, that's great. Come January 2nd, you're right back on it.
Exactly. And if you really plan it properly, you can almost avoid any weight gain whatsoever.
Right.
So let's start with talking about some tips for happy, healthy holiday eating.
Okay.
So what's the first one?
The first one would be don't skip any meals, because again, when you're set yourself up, you skip a meal, then you're going to be more hungry at the next meal, and you're going to overeat, and you're not going to feel good. So you want to make sure you continue to eat your regular meals or snacks every 3 to 4 hours.
And if you're going somewhere where you don't have control over the food, smart to fill up on a snack with high fiber before?
Absolutely. Fresh veggies, fresh fruit, maybe some hummus, whole grain, low-fat dairy, but definitely fill up, especially if you don't know what you're going to be eating, because then you don't want to overeat once you get to that party.
Let's talk about number 2.
Survey the buffets before you go and make your plate. Make sure you know everything that's there so that you can make a wise choice. And when you're there, once you're choosing, you want to really focus on the vegetables, the fruits. Stay away from the heavy appetizers or hors d'oeuvres. And also, you want to make sure that you're choosing the right beverages as well, because those calories add up. 5 ounces, you might get 300-400 calories.
And we're going to talk about the calories in beverages in a few minutes, because those are the real hidden sleepers.
Yes.
I am notorious. I'm taking the big dinner plate over to the salad part of the buffet, and taking the smaller plate.
And that's what you want to do.
Yes.
Yes. The smaller plate, then you're not choosing. You're not filling it up as you would a regular
with the heavier foods.
With the heavier foods, and so that's a great tip, is using that small salad plate for your dinner, and vice versa.
And don't be intimidated if they're plating the salad. I always say, I don't eat much of the regular food, so don't let that intimidate you. Say, do you mind, take a bigger plate, and they're usually very, happy to fill it.
Absolutely.
And you'll usually find some vegetables on the buffet too that you can use as toppings on top of your salad.
Next, you want to make sure you eat until you're satisfied, but not overeat. So once you start to feel full, and you think, maybe I want to go and get something else, take a seat, sit down, relax for a good 20 minutes. Let your brain, rethink, am I really hungry? Do I really need to go back up there? And most times you'll feel you don't need to. And, you're eating at the moment, and what else can I fit on here? That looks good, that looks great. But sit there 20 minutes, let your brain retrain and see if you really are hungry and need more.
I think, and the hardest thing is to focus. When you make your plate, take your time and make it with some thought behind it.
Right.
When you sit down, enjoy every bite. And I'm terrible at this. I'm a
Don't
fast
rush.
eater.
Yes.
I'm terrible.
Yes. When you're eating, take your time. Chew your food. Chew it slowly. Taste it. Don't rush.
And maybe kind of chat with the people around you a little bit. Slow it down. I know. I have to practice all the tips. Take the focus off food.
Yes. Next would be to maybe turn away from the candies and the sweets and the desserts and the baking, and do some non-food crafts, non-edible projects, making wreaths or gingerbread houses, or, that way you're not ready to just go and grab, oh, let me taste that cookie or let me taste that pie. Do some non-edible things around the holidays.
And I talked about planning at the beginning, and that's so important. Plan things that you like to do, things that you can engage your kids in.
Right.
And when you are baking maybe something from scratch, maybe use half as much butter,
Right.
maybe use half as much sugar. We'll get into the substitutes here in a few minutes.
Yes.
Next.
When you plan on treating yourself at that party, and you know what's coming ahead, start with a small meal, whole grain, fruits, low-fat dairy, lean protein, eggs, ham, or a natural peanut butter. Fill up on that first so that you can have a small amount once you get there, so that you're not ravenous and starving when you get there.
Again, this is in preparing before you go to wherever you're going.
Right.
Don't starve yourself.
No.
Is key.
Yes, it's huge, because again, you're really throwing your metabolism off, and you're going to end up overindulging in the next meal. Going, 6-7 hours without a meal, you're going to eat an extra 1,000 calories easy, especially at these holiday parties.
And it seems the meal that everybody wants to skip is breakfast.
Yes, and it's the most important, and it really fuels your metabolism and fuels your body for the day. It kind of sets that tone. So you never want to skip a meal.
And that's not a donut,
No,
right?
no.
Something we don't want a high starch breakfast.
Right,
we want some protein
some
is key.
protein. Egg whites or 2 egg whites and a whole egg. Some low-fat cottage cheese has some protein. Natural peanut butter. Fresh fruit again for the fiber. Low-fat or fat-free yogurt is fine too. But definitely do not skip meals and do not starve yourself.
And a quick tip for holiday planning: hard-boiled eggs are wonderful.
Excellent.
You can make them ahead of time. They stay in the refrigerator. Yes. You can add them to different things, but they're so easy to grab.
Yes.
And
they're
eat
a great source of protein, and they're very low calorie.
Right, and you can eat 3 egg
easy.
whites and eat one, and spread that yolk around. I noticed too, if I chop my egg whites and hard-boiled eggs and I take the one yolk and I put them in a bowl, that one yolk goes a long way with 3 egg whites.
Absolutely, yes.
Don't rush. Back to
yes. Socialize, settle. Enjoy your food, taste it. Give your body a chance to process that food and feel full. Get that satiety feeling.
We keep repeating that because it's so important.
Yes, people just forget.
And plus, there's so much, so you're overwhelmed. So you want to eat.
You want to eat everything.
So much of everything.
You want to. Oh well, I just want to taste this and I want to taste that, and you don't need to do that.
Well, and you know what else we're notorious for at the holidays? Like there are certain foods we only make at the holidays, so we think you have to eat
those
until there's no tomorrow of whatever those things are. I mean, you can make them during the year if you want to have enjoy them. Maybe make them once a quarter.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's definitely critical.
Definitely.
Processed foods in our busy worlds today. Boxed stuffings, especially boxed macaroni, and I know everybody does it.
Yeah, and because it's quick,
instant this, instant that,
and you're losing the nutritive value there. You're losing the fiber. You're losing the calorie. The calories you're not getting a nutrient dense calorie. Versus if you made that homemade, you'd get the calcium, the low fat. For the macaroni and cheese, you can use that low-fat cheese. But the processed foods, you're not getting the nutrients that we would want. And you're getting the added salt.
Added salt and no enzymes, no natural enzymes that we find in better, natural foods.
Absolutely.
Staples. This is my little thing. I think, so often what we think of a staple is milks, eggs, cheese. My staples are almond milk.
Right.
Cut up vegetables always in my refrigerator.
Hummus.
Always a thing of hummus.
Right.
Always a low fat. I make a salad dressing and I use flaxseed oil. You can't cook with flaxseed oil because the heat will kill it, but I make good seasoned salad dressing with balsamic vinegar and flaxseed oil.
You're good to go. Yes.
And it makes a nice dip. You can add it to some low fat yogurt.
Yes.
That dressing stirred around, it makes a nice veggie dip.
Yes, we're using low fat sour cream.
Yeah.
Having those staples are huge, and that way when you do have that party to go to, they're there, you can grab them before, and you're ready to go.
Something else people think, oh, what the heck? Why even, I've already broken it or I'm going to splurge. Why pay attention to anything? Paying attention and making some substitutes can make a huge difference because it can prevent that 4,500 calorie day and make it maybe a 2,500.
Right.
Yeah, I mean you can really impact the difference.
You really should between 18 and 2,000 calories, 1,800 and 2,000, and you would be fine, and it would make a huge difference.
So let's talk about some of the substitutes to keep the calories in check. On our little sheet, we start with
Splenda.
Yeah, well, a cup of sugar, what people don't understand is 770 calories.
Yes.
Even though it's no fat, it's
Right.
770 calories of not a whole lot.
Right. And I mean, just those calories, it's wasted, refined white sugar, and what you're doing to your blood sugar in your body.
Explain real quick why it makes you hungrier.
Because your blood sugar is going to spike a lot quicker, and what you would normally want is a gradual up and down like an S versus a spike and a crash. And you're going to be hungry, maybe within 30 minutes versus if you had the natural whole, you would, maybe do 2-3 hours.
And I've found out even in recipes, if you don't want to use a Splenda or a Trivia.
You can go half and half.
Yeah, or even if you use half the sugar.
Right.
It usually turns
It
out to
holds
be
up,
okay.
yes.
And sometimes I'll use honey instead of sugar.
Absolutely.
And there again, only half as
Half,
much.
right.
So at least I'm getting some
Something.
enzymes and a
Yes.
little, and raw honey.
Right.
And don't give raw honey to children under
2.
because of the enzymes.
Botulism, yes.
Okay. Fat-free or low-fat yogurt or unsweetened applesauce for oil.
Yeah, and this is wonderful. I mean, you can do this. I've made it using with cakes. They're still real moist. The flavor's there, but you're cutting your calories in half. I mean, or more than in half. It's an excellent substitute.
And again, tell people if you don't want to make 100% substitute, half and half.
Half and half, absolutely. The almond or coconut flour for refined white flour or breadcrumbs. Again, the nutrients alone, what you're getting in an almond milk versus a refined white flour.
Well, and
no comparison.
And plus, you don't get the gluten.
Right.
And my nieces turned me on. They love the Hungry Girl website for recipes.
Right.
And I've made some things.
Yes.
The almond flour is awesome.
Yes. And the product comes out just as good.
Yep. Ground meat.
Ground meat. So again, you can, the 98% lean chicken or turkey for ground beef, people wouldn't even know the difference. I've done this at home. You can make a chili, you can make the burgers, you can make meatballs, meatloaf, and it tastes the same. It's great. It's savory. It's not dry, and you're getting essentially almost little to no fat.
And again, if you really don't like it, go half
and half.
lean ground
Yes.
meat and half of your lean poultry.
Absolutely.
Eggs.
Egg beaters or 3 egg whites with an egg yolk is great too. I mean, the egg beaters are easier. You could just pour it out, but some people don't want to do that. And you can definitely go with the egg whites and you're cutting the cholesterol and you're cutting the fat.
And they make a liquid egg white now too
Yes.
that I've used that works. Smart Balance.
Smart Balance, again, for butter or shortening. And again, you're getting the same amount of fat gram per gram. It's the type of fat. So you want to focus on it's liquid vegetable oil based, mono and polyunsaturated versus a butter which is strictly saturated. And again, for your heart, for your cholesterol, excellent choices.
High fat dairy. I don't think people understand that, and especially like cream
Yes.
and butter. When you take milk, natural milk, all that cream and all the heavy stuff that
Is that the
clogs your
Yes,
arteries and veins.
Yes,
That's your cheese and
that's
butter.
Your cheese and butter. So again, cutting that to a 1%. You don't have to go fat-free, but
Yeah, you know what? I like the lights better.
Right.
The fat-frees are like...
Yeah, the taste is not there.
No.
So yeah, a light is fine, or 1%. That would be excellent. And you're cutting the bad fat down.
And you can get the lights in low-fat ricotta cheese.
Absolutely.
In a low-fat mozzarella.
Right.
String cheese is wonderful for a snack,
Absolutely.
especially for the kids.
Right.
You can get low-fat fetas. Wonderful. Cream cheese and evaporated milk.
Again,
I have to tell you,
The light-
fat-free cream cheese was horrible.
Yeah.
The light was delicious.
yes, the light, I use the light all the time. I use it in every recipe I use. And can't tell the difference. It's
Nope.
wonderful.
And they came out with a fat-free evaporated milk. It has some sugar in it.
It does. And that's the
Not
only
my
thing I
favorite.
caution you is when you do go fat-free, because for taste purposes, either your sugar is going to go up, your sodium may go up, because you're taking the fat out for taste. They're going to bump those up. So you want to be careful on that. 5 grams or higher, you're going to get, that's that excess refined sugar. So you want to be careful with that.
That's why I think when they say absolutely no fat, you really have, because the good fats are really important. You want to do the lights.
Right.
You know,
And real quick, you do
Yeah.
need fat in your diet. We just want to make sure. So
about 30% of your calories,
yes,
25, 30?
Yes. So that's why I really, you don't necessarily have to go fat-free. You can go with the light and you'd be okay.
Let's talk about coffee cream.
Oh, coffee creamer, that's a big one. Especially I'll see clients, I can't give up my coffee creamer. Well, let's try. Let's start with using half, and then maybe let's go with a 1% or a skim, and but we just take it in baby steps, because the calories in there and the bad fat, the saturated fat, in such a small amount, 2 tablespoons is
Well, and you know what? Another pet peeve of mine is the non-dairy creamers that are processed.
Yes.
Or the powdered creamers.
Oh, the powdered, yeah.
They're not good.
Not good. No.
I'm not good. I mean, they do more harm to your body than they
Right.
do good. They may taste good, but
Right, but the nutritive value is not there.
no. And if you want to make like flavors in your coffee and things, sometimes I'll add ground cinnamon to my coffee grinds.
Right.
Maybe about a teaspoon.
Yeah.
And it gives it that great cinnamon flavor. I mean, you
Yeah.
can add different spices to your
Absolutely,
ground coffees
yes.
and make flavored
There's
coffee
ways
at
to
home.
go around it, absolutely.
We talked about yogurt a little bit, but one thing, sour cream. A 1/4 cup of sour cream, how much fat?
12.1 grams.
And when you consider how much, an average in a 2,000 calorie diet, if you want 30% of your calories from fat in your fat grams, I mean, you get over 1/3 of it right there.
Right there.
Dips and baking, toppings on baked potatoes, your yogurts again, right?
Yogurt is excellent. The Greek yogurt it's so tasteful. It's you're getting protein there, and it's low calorie, and the fat is low.
And I've had people tell me, the Greek is too thick and the plain is too blah.
You can thin it down a little bit.
Well, exactly. You know what I do? I take a half of the plain with half of the
Yeah.
Greek, and I mix it around. And then I like the fruit on the bottom yogurts, because you can control how much of that fruit you're getting, so you don't
Right.
get as much sugar.
Right.
So you just get a little bit for taste, and
Yes.
you don't have to
And
use
that's
all
perfect.
that. Exactly. This is a cute one. Sliced almonds.
Yes,
For topping.
Yes, instead of using the fried onion rings on our casseroles, potatoes, green beans, the sliced almonds are excellent. And again, you're cutting that bad fat out. And again, calorie level.
And you can toast your sliced almonds before you
Absolutely,
put them on
before,
top, right?
yes.
In the toaster oven on some foil or a little pan, or in
Right,
the oven.
Right, and you're getting, again, the good omega-3s and the mono and polyunsaturated fats. And we need those for heart healthy.
Exactly. I love chopped vegetables in just about anything. I try to tell people always
Could put 'em
start
in-
with,
yes.
let's start, stuffing is such a holiday
Yes.
item, right?
Right.
So people use a cup of celery, a cup of
Onions,
I
yes.
load it.
Oh,
I use
double
like
it,
a
yeah.
couple of stalks.
Yes, absolutely. And the fiber alone you're going to get, and the calorie level is so low. You can get a cup for 25 calories.
And I love the trinity of onions with maybe, I'll put maybe 1 onion to about, maybe a bag of chopped carrots and a bunch of chopped celery.
Right, and use your mushrooms.
Yes.
Yes.
And very nutritious
Very
mushrooms. People don't
nutritious,
realize.
Yes. So, I mean,
And when I saute, like a tablespoon of oil
Right.
and broth.
that chicken broth, vegetable-based broth, excellent. I mean, and you're cutting, again, that fat out and the calorie level.
And the calories are, like, I will make a Marcella, you can make a chicken, I make a fish Marcella,
Okay.
whatever, I'll make a Francais. But there again, instead of sauteing it in all that butter and oil,
Right.
use like a
Use the
third
broth.
and
and
use
the
the broth.
Yes.
Wonderful. My Yukon Gold mashed potatoes are always a hit, and people don't know or don't believe that.
Don't believe it. And I've recommended it from you to clients, and they
give
love them.
Give them the recipe.
You boil your potatoes in broth.
Yukon Gold.
Yes. Drain, but save the liquid, and then use butter buds. And then salt and pepper to taste, and then you have some reserve liquid till creamy, and
throw it in while you're whipping them.
Yep, and it's great.
And then we found the last few years they came up with the cauliflower mash, where you substitute the cauliflower for the potato. Delish.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think if people just start to get creative.
If you just kind of think outside the box a little bit, get a little creative, put a little bit of effort into it. And I know we're all busy and this is a busy time of year, but just take an hour, on the weekend or weeknight, whatever is convenient for you. And, there are so many ways that you can find to be nutritious around this season.
And, when you're thinking about holiday gifts, let people know, get maybe go and look at some food processors you like. Put that on your gift list.
Smoothie makers.
Yes, a chopper.
Right.
I mean, things that are going to, kitchen items that are going to help you keep it easy and healthy.
Yes.
Because if you don't have the right material and you don't make it easy, you're not going to do it.
You're not going to do it. You won't succeed.
Let's talk about some fat grams and some calories and some common things.
Okay.
Cream in a drink, and I was notorious for being Kahlua and cream, right? In the old days, when I used to eat McDonald's and Kahlua and cream and everything else. So now cream drinks, 300 calories
plus, 300 plus
in a drink,
and
10 to 12 fat grams, and it's not that big.
No, it might be 6 ounces.
Right.
Yeah.
Light beer.
Now, light beer isn't bad. So you don't get the fat and about 110 calories roughly.
On average.
On average for a 12 ounce. And some of these beers, the ultralight is even less. You might get 60 to 80 calories. So that's even better.
Exactly.
You can do even like some of those light, like the Yinling Light and the Ultra Mic Light. You can do 2 or 3 to give you an equivalent to 1 starch serving.
And that's what people don't understand. Like, when you think about it, it's just, then you have 2,
right.
And then you pile it on with something else.
Right, and then you're eating more, and then you're grabbing those non-nutritious foods. So, yeah, you do want to be careful, because it, again, adds up.
Absolutely. A regular beer, 144 calories.
Right.
A liquor.
And
a liqueur.
Right, and it's only 1 ounce. It is
like
teeny tiny. And 144 calories. I mean, that's a lot of calories. And that's not even, then if you add on top of it.
Yeah.
So.
And it goes quick.
Yeah, real quick.
Oh, yeah. And we enjoy wine so much now. Still, I think it's the better choice.
Right.
And white's a little bit lower than red.
A little bit lower, about 5 calorie difference. And the portion's about 5 ounces.
And that's the key. 4 to 5 ounces, which it's not,
no,
that much. It's like and if it's a big wine glass, it doesn't look like a lot, but sip it.
Yes, so sip it, take your time, socialize again, enjoy.
And I always like having a glass of water when I'm having a drink.
Yes, so you could alternate. Right.
Perfect. Everyone loves pepperoni.
Yes.
So I found this intriguing. 1 slice, a little sliced pepperoni.
Yes.
How many fat grams?
2.3.
And 27 calories.
Yes,
so
teeny tiny.
So if you eat 10 of those, that's 270 calories and 23 fat grams.
Yes.
That's easy to do.
Quickly, very quickly.
So that's, again,
especially when you have your drinks going and you're talking and you may just be grabbing, you're not sitting down, you're walking around. So it adds up. So you can see where the 4,500 calories come from.
And then let's throw a high-fat cheese on it because one of my old favorites, and I still love it, but I kind of watch Gorgonzola, 9.6.
9.6 and 109 calories.
And just a little ounce.
An ounce. And to think of an ounce, again, it's four dice that you might throw on a board game stacked. That's an ounce. That's it.
That's all. And cheddar cheese, the same thing, 9.4 fat grams.
Right. And again, this is majority of it is saturated fat.
Exactly, so again, not the good fat.
Right, not the good that's going to stick in the arteries, clog the veins, and raise the cholesterol.
Mm-hmm. Laughing cow's a great option.
Right.
Again, we talked about mozzarella and part skim. Crackers are something that we don't have on our list, but I wanted to bring up because people think, I'll just grab a couple of crackers.
Right.
crackers can be really high in fat and high in calories.
Right. And then, yeah, depending what the cracker's made of, the fat can be, for 6 crackers might be 10, 12, 15 grams of fat. And the calories.
That's where I think label reading, educate yourself. And today with the internet, you can go online and be looking at
And you can
labels in
find
your
it.
leisure time. You don't have to
Yes.
do it in the, if you're rushed in the grocery store.
Do it before.
Plan.
Prepare.
Exactly. When you're making your grocery list. I think that that covers as far as, the tips we want to talk about.
Yeah.
I think we can give them some holiday, gift ideas now
Okay,
to
good.
carry over. Real quick, I found this, a Cleveland clinic sends out their little wellness tip every day. And it's like, outsmart sugar cravings. How? By eating small meals regularly to prevent blood sugar swings. There again.
Right.
Keep fresh fruit on hand so that you're getting the high fiber. The
Right.
same old story and over,
Right.
but it's just,
Yeah, it's just a matter of doing it. There's no magic pill out there.
Exactly. No drink, no
No.
pill.
No.
Exactly.
The food.
Exactly. Water, water.
Water, water, water.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, this is kind of fun.
Yes.
Because for a couple of reasons. A, staples we want you to keep, but also you can use those things to make some fun holiday baskets that you can give as gifts.
Right.
So I love a vegetable basket.
Excellent. And it's such a good, you can put it out that if you're having family over, cut up your veggies, cut up your fruit, and serve it to your guests.
Yes, and my cousin Isabel Mitlow florist in Niles, does a phenomenal job with veggie baskets, veggie and fruit baskets. Her and I worked for the last couple of years to come up with some really creative, healthy ideas. So if you can't, if you're looking for a place to call, that's who you want to call. And then always keep our cut up veggies and hummus.
Right.
I love our little nuts. Keep them in a dish. And we have our fresh fruit. The reason why we have the pumpkin pie, like we talked about, you're going to have things out to pick on.
Right.
Usually you have cookies out for, to munch on. It's holiday cookies. You're going to have your desserts. Always when you have your dessert, make sure that you have some fresh fruit with it.
Absolutely.
Have some nuts.
Yes.
Grab a few nuts. When you can sprinkle them on. They're very nutritious. They'll help fill you up so you're not, to balance some of that sugar, so that you're not getting that sugar rush.
And again, with the nuts, try to eat them at least maybe 20 to 30 minutes before you know you're going to go for that dessert, because it'll give you start that satiety feeling.
Yes. And as we're making our fun, healthy baskets, I just pulled some different things together that are so easy to do. Nuts, rice cakes, teas, and books. People forget about how important, books are.
Right.
There are great cookbooks out there, and I tell people, grab a cup of coffee, grab a tea, go to your favorite bookstore, sit down.
It's a great resource.
Right. Look through some things, find some recipes maybe in the ones you like, and I'll tell you what else is a fun basket that I've done. I'll get a great cookbook, and with recipes that I think will appeal. And then I'll buy the ingredients for a recipe, and I'll mark it in the book, and then I'll give them the basket with the cookbook and all the ingredients.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, if you want to do it with kids, like for healthier recipes,
Right.
it's wonderful. And we can't forget, our pets and so on. So,
No.
oh yeah, so we even have a healthy cookbook for the dog. The Healthy Dog Cookbook, literally. So these are some excellent ideas from the food side.
Right.
And now we're going to talk about some fun ideas on the exercise side.
Okay.
In keeping with our holiday theme, there again, you can make great baskets, buy great gifts that, play on, keeping healthy and
lifestyle.
fit. And especially, and you have 4 little ones. Well, the little one's really teeny tiny. God bless her, 8 months?
11 months.
11 months. But it's important too, I think, when you buy them gifts, stocking stuffers.
Yes.
Here we have my little dog Salvatore stocking. Think about things that you can throw in there that'll keep them active.
Right. Incorporate a healthy lifestyle at a young age so that they carry it through.
Yes. And I love, this is kind of a little basket container, but there again, you can buy these gifts individually wrapped, or you can make a great, small to huge basket for family and friends.
Right.
The other thing I like people to think about, is getting outside more. We are such, we're so now locked into the computer and the
Right.
iPad and the iPhone and
Right.
it's great. We don't think about going outside.
Right.
So, you want to think about doing things that'll get you out, even in the cold, and get some fresh
Absolutely,
air.
yes.
Let's talk about one of my favorites, a jump rope. Easy, inexpensive. These have these little T-handles that make it a little bit easier to hold on to. Mm-hmm. Great. My yoga box. Someone had given this a gift to me a couple of years ago, and it really is a great idea. It's yoga in a box, and it kind of gives you everything you need as a starter kit. Wait, these are my little favorites, right, too? So they give you little cards of all the different poses, so you can see, like, what to do. Great visuals. A water bottle. This is all the water you need for a day.
For a day. And men need a little bit more.
Why?
Their body types, they just need about 8 to 9, well, maybe even 10 ounces more. But women need about 72 to 78. Men are like 80, around 80.
That's the only disadvantage that I've known so far, because, men have it so much easier than we do. I'm glad to know they at least need more water. That's good. Great books. Here's a book on yoga. Here's a book on weightlifting that is really, I talk about this Getting Stronger book by Bill Pearl, and it's an old book, but it's been reproduced many times, but I highly recommend it because it really takes you from A to Z, start to finish, explains everything. A great book for people that don't know what to do to get started, in strength training. Our Dr. Roy's and Dr. Oz favorites is our little basket tips. You Being Beautiful. I like little fillers, like great, natural soaps with great scents. And what people don't sometimes think about, too, is when you have a great bubble bath or a great soap.
To relax,
yes.
enjoy, unwind.
Yes, and get scents that calm you.
Right.
That are very relaxing, that make you feel good.
Get rid of that stress, so that you can enjoy.
Absolutely. And like I said, great fillers. Now the more environmentally friendly water bottles. The new bands. Fitbit's coming out with something new. It hasn't come in yet. I'm on order to have one, but the Nike band, which is, going into, I think its third year. We have the Up band. These are great things that you can put on your wrist, track your calories, track your physical activity, track your sleep patterns now. And then you connect them into your computer, and they'll give you your little printout.
Ready to go.
And I have friends that will do it, 3 or 4 family members or friends and family, and then they kind of compete, who's walking the most and who's doing whatever. Remember, Dr. Roizen, Wellness Institute chair at the Cleveland Clinic, 10,000 steps a day. And when we think about how many steps a day, we think about our little pedometer. You can clip your little pedometer. Another great stocking stuffer.
Excellent.
Yep, and keep active. Just go through your normal day with your pedometer. I'll tell you what's surprising. If you don't make an effort, you're not going to get you're not going to get close to 10,000 steps.
No, and then you're going to wonder why your results. Well, it's right there.
Exactly. Great for tracking. I love these little vests because anything neon, if you're going to be outside, it gets dark early.
These visibility.
Are great for the kids because you want them to be visible so that, people aren't hit by a car or, they don't trip over something. They're great to have. I'm a big believer. If you don't dress in the proper attire for whatever exercise you're going to do, you're never gonna stick to it, believe it. Yeah, it becomes now a chore.
Right. Enjoy it.
Exactly. Right attire makes it fun. Make sure you have the right shoes. I have a flat foot. I pronate. These shoes are important for me because they keep my foot stable. I have no arch. If you have a high arch, you want to buy a shoe that is made for your particular foot. And it's very important when you buy your socks as well. This is a running sock. This is a golfer's sock. Different paddings, different things. As you can tell, this is so my thing.
Yes.
And we talk about the kids getting outside. I get this little hat, right? I got this as a gift, and I'm like, oh my God. Now, when I walk my little dog Salvatore, it's the cutest thing, and I'll tell you what I love about it most. The little ears drop down, right? So when it's freezing cold outside.
You're warm.
Oh, and don't I look cute? Yeah. But you know what? Exactly. I'm warm and it's enjoyable.
That's what counts.
Scarves. And I highly recommend, if you're going to play outside, and especially for kids, go to a ski store. Get little ski suits or get your gloves. Things that are made for skiing because they're a lot warmer. They seem to be more insulated, and they make it much more comfortable to be outdoors. And one of my favorites too, my ears get
Yes.
cold. So I'm a big, if you're not a hat person,
And if you're
earmuffs.
cold, you're not going to do it. So you want to make sure.
Right, and if you don't want to look queer, putting
Right.
them on your head, the other famous thing I do is come around the back and put them on
Hide
your
them
little
right,
ears.
and you can't even tell.
Don't I look cute?
Yes.
Okay. This is our little portable hula hoop. Kids love this. They think it's
They
like the
love-
coolest
yes.
thing. And I like our little ankle weights or hand weights.
Right.
And this is fun because what you do is you unzip, and you can make them anywhere from 1 pound to 10 pounds, because when you unzip the top, you can take out the little filler, and there's 5 little fillers, so you can make it, like I said, from 1 pound to 10 pounds. And I think that, as long as you keep thinking about, being active, getting outdoors, exercise, movement, when you're shopping, stay focused,
Stay focused,
and you'll
have
be
a plan,
amazed.
and you'll be amazed at your results. You can do it, definitely. Nothing is impossible.
And engage the kids.
Yes.
When you take the kids shopping, if they're going to have a cookie, tell them, oh, that's great, but let's go to maybe the sports store and buy
Right.
a little sports,
Right.
A toy doesn't have to be something that is from a toy store.
Right.
What you teach them as a toy is a toy.
Is
A
what
ball
they
can
know.
be a toy.
Absolutely.
A frisbee is a toy.
Right.
And it gets them moving.
Right.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed our holiday show. On behalf of Salvatore and myself, I want to wish you the happiest and healthiest of holidays, and we look forward to seeing you in the new year. Please send us your ideas for some things you'd like to see covered, topics for 2014 to info@thefitnest. Also, let us know how you're enjoying the show, and any other comments we welcome. I'm Mary Pepino. This is Fit for You, and have a wonderful, wonderful holiday.